Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Fall For Me from Sleep Token and their album This Place Will Become Your Tomb. I'm musically malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So, got our work cut out for us on this one, but let's get in, see what we can figure out. All right. Verse 1. In a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals, turning the skies into glass, and through echoing futures are the buckling sutures that hold shut the wounds of the past. The annotations here have an interesting interpretation that does fit the nautical theme throughout this album. We'll check that out in a second. Because I like the way that they tie it in, but I don't know. There's something about this that I just take a little bit more, I don't know if literal is the right word. Let's just say different. So the way that I see this, a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals. So obviously we know the relational aspects that are throughout all of this album, much of Sleep Token's music. So when I think of a city of ice having burning cathedrals, and I don't think I'm going to be able to fully grasp all of the imagery that exists. My first thought goes to this cold place, this place of ice. So whether this is, I would imagine, kind of the internal self, this place that is just cold and bitter, but having these burning cathedrals, I guess my mind first went to a place of passion, because you do find a lot of times in the music here is this idea that like he knows he should let go or that they're not good together, and yet he can't resist the desire to want to love. Like he feels so attached. And so this cold place, but still these places that are burning. Now the other could be this city of ice and burning of what's sacred. So I don't know. It's interesting because you have ice and burning. Those things don't seem compatible. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. But a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals, turning the skies into glass. So turning the skies into reflections. And through echoing futures, because it's the reflection is... It could almost in a way be this idea of the future, and it's just echoing back and forth. Because if you were to think about it like looking into a mirror, which the glass doesn't necessarily have to be a mirror, but if it was, then it would kind of hold up to this line of echoing futures, meaning that which has happened and been present will be what is in the future. And through echoing futures are the buckling sutures. So these sutures, these places, these things that are meant to heal, that are failing, that hold shut the wounds of the past. So I think in totality, this first verse to me just speaks of this obvious place that's cold. There's destruction, and that it's just saying that which has been present and in past is only going to continue forward, meaning that he doesn't feel there's this, the wounds of the past will only echo into the future. I don't know, pretty cryptic, but let's see. This was kind of the interesting take. City of ice is deep ocean, which we know this is just a person's interpretation. This is not confirmed from them, from Vessel. City of ice is the deep ocean, which, you know, could make sense because it does get obviously colder the deeper you go. Burning cathedrals being hydrothermal vents that are spewing hot chemicals into the water. Such chemicals are what deep sea creatures feed on to survive. So, I mean, it's a really cool thought, like I said, that kind of ties into the theme, but I don't know that it really helps with the rest of the verse, other than the idea that, but if you're going deeper, it's really just getting darker. So, I don't know. I was thinking you could think of the idea of looking back up at the surface being this like glass. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts. Remember, we don't always get it right, but we always learn something. All right, chorus. So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? Through a fractured existence, won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me from, from reality to the rhythm of eternity? Won't you fall for me? Interesting. It says a well fall is a corpse of a well that is sunk into the ocean floor deeper than 1,000 meters. Sea creatures native to these deeper areas typically have scarce food sources and must adapt to survive. Whale falls, along with other animal carcasses, are fed upon once they reach their native depth for survival. The narrator then could simply be asking someone to fall in love with him. This love, however, much like the whale fall to the deep sea fauna, might be seen as crucial for the narrator's own survival. That's a really interesting idea, like asking her to come into his fractured existence, like this deep place that he's in, because obviously a whale fall, it's positive to those that are going to feed upon it, but not necessarily positive for the whale. And if it's going to fall down to the ocean floor, which a whale fall is present in a lot of the imagery within the album. I think the centerfold. Yeah. So even the centerfold on the vinyl is a whale fall. You have kind of the mouth of the whale and then the body and the bones and everything. So it's an interesting thought if he's asking her to fall for him, like fall down into his fractured existence, and there he can gain what he's wanting from her, needing from her. My insecurities surround me like lions in the den. Okay, that's an easy one. And I feel like I'm losing touch with what I am again. So the idea of your insecurities, whatever they might be, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'll never get over this, I can't handle this. There's a myriad of insecurities that can exist, and they're surrounding him. And so I feel like I'm losing touch with what I am again, which I think insecurities can do. Insecurities make you, a lot of times insecurities are not the truth, right? They're just a way in which you perceive yourself. Slowly, I remember why I cannot pretend that I never think of you in all this screaming silence. I wish you were here. So if you, I think, take this into a human place, this feeling of like he's separated and he's asking her. So let's tie the two together, a thematic theme of like him being separated from her, away from her. But let's say that's kind of in the depths, asking her to fall for him or come back to him. And he's in this place separated or in the depths, thinking of her in this screaming silence, wishing she was there, wishing she would fall for him. So won't you fall from, and you can take that, it doesn't have to be a literal falling. I love that imagery though. But we use that term as like, oh, she fell for him, and it can be a positive thing. I'm not necessarily saying that, and that's, we just use that language. Oh, she's fallen in love. He's fallen in love. Oh, you're falling for him. So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me from reality to the rhythm of eternity? Won't you fall for me? With my love as your garden, won't you fall for me? I am yours in the end, so won't you fall for me? With my love as your garden, if we didn't have some, prior knowledge of kind of the pain and the toxicity that has existed, that's a really beautiful line. I mean, as long as it doesn't turn into this like negative codependence type of thing, because even in successful relationships or in marriage, it's not right 50-50 from each partner. It's 100-100. And some days you fail to give 100 and the other person is there to help meet that gap. Some days they're here and you're there for them. And that really, their love, your love, are gardens that you tend, that you give care to, that you watch over, that you pull the weeds and do the hard work, but that you also water and plant new seed and and then enjoy, right? The whole point of a garden too is to enjoy. Look at this beautiful thing we've created. And doing that for one another is a beautiful picture, tending to each other's garden. So really interesting, man. And it's cool too, because you can, I think, continue with the imagery because of maybe the growth of coral reef or things like that, which obviously I don't know a ton about, especially in the deep. Obviously, we kind of know of the smaller coral reefs or like the Great Barrier Reef, and it's how important it is. And in a way, it is a garden in the sea. And so I don't know if there's this ability from the whale falling to produce this garden that gives life. So I don't know. Interesting. Let me know your thoughts and we'll have a good conversation about it. Anything that you saw that I didn't see, or if you have a different take. I know as well that I've kind of said I really lean into the relational aspects with all of this. So anyone who wants to talk about lore, you're more than welcome here. So it's conversation for everybody, even if it's not what I tend to gravitate to the most. Feel free to put your comments about the lore and things like that. So just want you to know your comments are welcome here as well. And I think we can all be respectful of each other's different interpretations. But yeah, thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one. It's reading good.